What up, party people? Welcome back to Talk the Talk with your host, JP and Steve. We are really excited about being back. Hope you guys had a great Memorial weekend. We've had good weather, and we had lots of food.
That's why I'm wearing these shades.
I only spent $172 on steaks. I had three steaks.
3 cheeseburgers, didn't you?
3 steaks for $172, and I burnt one, so that was a $75 mistake.
Yeah, I'm wearing sunglasses because we're into summer.
We are?
I bought these at praiseandworship.com.
Ooh.
They're called John the Baptist shades.
Nice.
So I feel
the more you wear them, it protects you from the sun?
Something like that.
Are you going to point to the sun through them?
Anyway. Whenever someone at Facebook puts my head on a platter, they're going to have these sunglasses on it. Here. That guy had a big mouth. We shut him up.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? That's perfect because you are the mouth of this. Now, I got a question. Why are you still wearing the thing on the mouth there?
All hail and praise and glory and honor to Dr. Fauci.
We love him. I want to say, I used to thank our founding fathers for my rights, but now I have, I can just point and look to Dr. Fauci, who can tell me what I can and cannot do with my life when I want to do it,
Well, let's see. A year ago and 3 months, he said we don't need to wear a mask. And then, 3 weeks later, he said we have to wear one until 2030. It's changed a couple times since then, but I'm just going to stick with this till 2030.
Well, according to AOC, the whole world will be over by then because of climate change. So we can wear our masks to our death, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sieg Heil.
Once I'm dead, if you want to throw my butt in a box and leave the mask on, go ahead, because it won't bother me.
First of all, I'm not touching your butt. And second of all, if there's a mask down there, I don't want to know. But hey, listen, we need to tell everybody that you can find us not only on your podcasting app, right, Steve?
Yep.
Podbean or whatever that, if you're Apple or wherever you use, we're on everything. As well, we have a website. You can always check us out on our website. Look at Talk to Talk. Also, TalkTalk.com. And also, we are on YouTube, and we need you to subscribe to that channel. We know that a lot of people are listening, but not everybody hits that little like button. And that's the thing that helps us, Steve. And you know what? You can share us in your Facebook, too.
And that will bring you joy and peace in your life,
yes.
Hitting that heart button.
We're all about the good news until we bring the bad news. And there's always both. Yeah? Well, Steve, we have a lot on our plate.
Sorry, I forgot to do this when I mentioned Fauci 5 minutes ago. So.
Every time you do that, my butt puckers up.
Wow, thanks for sharing.
Colonoscopy. Anyway, well, there's been a lot going on since we've last been on air, and we know we had a long weekend last weekend, and everything was going. We took the week off because, we were memorializing.
Well, I was in Missouri.
You were, I was going to get to that. You were in Missouri because your awesome daughter, Marley.
Yeah.
Last time we actually had the podcast, she had just took the team.
Well, it was
single-handedly by herself.
She
had 72 strikeouts, became the MVP. She was amazing, and the only reason that freaking UIC team, and I say freaking with disgust, freaking UIC team was even in the NCAA tournament was because of one Marley Hanlon, and it had nothing to do with UIC. She did it on her own intellect.
Did you watch it?
Yes,
the games?
She did not. She didn't. It had nothing to do with those coaches over there. She took the team single-handedly and threw them on her back and carried them to the tournament. Steve,
she had a great teammates. I am grateful that the coaches gave her an opportunity, and in 3 years she made the Horizon League All-Tournament team 3 times. But she found out last week she won't be asked back for her COVID year of eligibility. So
yeah,
I'm scratching my head on that one a little bit, but you know what?
Oh my gosh, all your hair's gone. So you've really been scratching.
Yeah, but I'm nothing but grateful. It's been a great ride for her, and God will open the right door moving forward. And
absolutely. But that
Hold on, let me scratch my head one more time.
That doesn't mean, sorry guys, I keep rubbing my pythons, but it doesn't mean like she didn't get screwed, but I thank God.
She isn't looking at it that way.
No, not at all. She went out on top, man.
Yep.
Like, I don't know too many guys or girls or gender-neutral people that are playing that go out with such just an awesome couple weeks of playing.
Yeah, it was 4 years, honestly, and now she's starting to give lessons to young kids, and
So am I.
hope
Sorry.
that's so wrong. Why do I do this every
I
week?
don't know, but
Yeah. So anyway, it's all good. I'm still scratching my head a little, but I'll get over it.
the girl went on top, and we were joking around at the beginning about how she carried that team, but in honesty, she really did throw that team on her back, and she stepped up when everybody was struggling a little bit, and that's what great players do.
Yeah.
And she did get them to the NCAA, tournament, and she got to pitch there against some amazing teams and did very well.
Nah, she held her own. It was, they lost to Missouri. She got hit a little bit, but Missouri's an SEC team. They're unbelievably good. But you know what? She got to pitch in front of 2,700 people.
That's amazing.
They were all wearing yellow shirts and pounding, so it was fun. It was a good time. Nothing but pride and joy. And
well, good job, Marley. And, we'll see how UIC does without her next year. They're going to be 0-75, and they're not going to score a single run, and they're going to have an average ERA as a team. I'm going there because I can. Her average EA of the team will go up by as much as the gas prices have in the last few weeks under Biden. So, great job, Marley. We're all proud of you, and we know God's got big things in store for her, and she's going to take this world by the nuggets now and move forward and move on to the next phase of her life, right?
Speaking of phases,
and so will Steve.
No, we'll see.
We'll see.
Still trying to recover, but anyway.
Well,
you want to talk NBA hoops?
More than anything.
Most of our life, this time of year we've both been big NBA playoff fans. Most of our
all
life.
the time, yeah.
Until
a lot of people wondered why with my jump shot, I didn't end up there, but I just chose not to play Steve.
I like it when people say, well, I got recruited by Ohio State, but I had a toe injury.
Yeah.
Whenever someone tells you that, they're lying. I'm just telling you, I don't care who it is. If an injury kept them from playing college, they're liars. Just nod your head and be nice, but they're lying.
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to be nice. You can just say that's BS, bro. Yeah, and that only. But the reality is, everybody knows the jump shot of Northwest Indiana, the well-known jump shot by JP. And I could have played in the NBA. I was, there's Larry Bird, and then there was me if I wouldn't have got hurt.
Bullshit.
But what you did say is right. Like, we love the hoops. We're from Indiana. Indiana is about hoops. Things change.
I got into the NBA in the 80s. The Celtics-Lakers rivalry was unbelievable. They met in the championship 3-4 times in the 80s. Just great basketball. And when the players were done, guess what?
What?
They just talked about the game and then went home with all their money. But, now it's a little bit different. Sports writers, fans get preached at. But I'm going to take the side of the players this time.
You are. Well, let's show the people what's going on. So right now we have Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
He is on the Wizards.
Yep.
And
great player.
Yes.
Worth $160 million.
That's it. Okay.
That's a good amount of pocket change.
And for whatever reason, they were playing the Celtics, right?
No, Philly.
They were playing Philly, and a guy with a Celtics jersey.
No, that's the other one.
That's the other one. Okay, I'll just shut up. We're in Philly. Let's watch the video. You guys, you should be on our YouTube channel watching this video. I'm going to shut up now and play it. Here we go.
He's nobody bullying him.
So Westbrook going to roll the ankle there.
Russell.
And you get another look at it.
Oh. Hope he's all right.
Up with Furkan Korkmaz. And then on the way to the locker room, somebody dumps popcorn on him.
That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Just throw the guy out.
He should unnecessary is understatement.
Just saying, just ban the dude.
And Russell's hot. as you would expect.
You see, y'all guys always get mad when I tell you what NBA rule I would change.
Which one is that?
I think you should be able to go up in the stands and beat the hell out of one person per game.
You should. Yeah, I can't see why that didn't take
So
hold.
you don't think that guy deserves to get his ass beat right at center court?
Yeah, well, you look, yeah, he doesn't have to go into the stands. You just got to bring him down.
I screwed that up.
So he's nobody bullying him.
So Westbrook gonna roll the ankle there, and you get another look at it. Oh,
Hope he's all right.
up with Furkan Korkmaz, and then on the way to the locker room, somebody dumps popcorn on him.
That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Just throw the guy out. He should
Unnecessary is an understatement.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just ban the dude.
And yeah, Russell's hot, as you would expect.
You see, y'all guys always get mad when I tell you what NBA rule I would change.
Which one is that?
I think you should be able to go up in the stands and beat the hell out of one person per game.
You should. Yeah, I can't see why that didn't take
So
hold.
you don't think that guy deserves to get his ass beat right at center court?
Yeah, well, you look, yeah, he doesn't have to go into the stands. You just got to bring him down.
That's my point.
Okay.
You should be able to walk.
Well,
I'll tell
you said that he should go in the stands. We don't want anybody
well,
going in the stands.
We don't want a pistol situation. But if a fan says something really, really rude or throw something on you, you be able to say, "Come on down," like Chuck Woolery, where you say, "Bring it right down the half court," and y'all settle it like men.
Okay, here's Russell's take on that situation as part of this report from Stephanie Reddy.
The Washington Wizards had a tough time trying to stop Philly's big three. Simmons, Embiid, and Harris combined for 63 points and 25 rebounds. Philly is now up 2-0 on Washington, and that may not be the worst of it for the Wizards. Russell Westbrook left the game in the fourth quarter with an ankle injury, and the crowd here in Philadelphia added insult to injury. On Westbrook's way off the court, someone dumped popcorn down on him.
Unfortunately, I was leaving out, and then I just felt popcorn on top of my head, and to be blatantly honest, man, this out of hand, especially for me. Just the amount of disrespect, the amount of just fans just doing whatever they want to do. It's out of pocket, man. It's out of pocket, seriously. Like any other setting, I'm all for the fans enjoying the game and having fun, and it's part of sports. I get it, but there's certain things that cross the line. And any other setting, I know for a fact that fans and they wouldn't come up, and a guy wouldn't come on the street and pour popcorn on my head because he know what happened. A guy wouldn't come up to me and talk mess about my kids and my family on the street because the response would be different.
All right, so there it is, Steve, and he's got a point. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say this because Barkley said this too.
Yeah.
I think a fan should be allowed to say almost anything. The best fans are the ones that get inside the head of a player. Obviously, racial stuff is off limits, should not be allowed. I just think sometimes somebody says something stupid and it's automatically called racism. I don't think very much of that happens today. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'll say this for the guy who threw. If someone would just give me $100,000, I would let them dump popcorn on my head every morning. I would walk outside and just say, "Go ahead."
There might be a strategy to you pour popcorn on them, which doesn't hurt them. And
right.
Then, I agree with Barkley. They should bring the guy down there, but then let the guy take the punch so he can get half of all that Westbrook has. You know what I mean? No, but
yeah, that stuff is wrong.
You got to protect the players, man. And they're if they keep doing that stuff, they're gonna push those seats further and further back. And I don't know.
Well, the NBA, their viewership is so low, they ought to have a popcorn throwing night.
Oh, geez.
It's like 10% of the fans that used to watch the NBA
you're right.
10 years ago. So you're not getting the cream of the crop, I don't think, when it comes to fans. You're just getting knuckleheads.
Well, I mean, very knuckleheads with money, because it ain't no cheap thing to be.
I think the cost is down. I'd have to look at it, but if no one's coming, you're going to lower the price to get in and see it.
like I think, back in the day, especially when Jordan played, I know it's easy to pick that era, but everybody I knew had seen a Bulls game. I don't know anybody, and I know there's people out there, but I don't know anybody that goes to an NBA game. Now, I don't never hear anybody talk about it.
You got to hang out with the elites. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? But who talks about it? I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing now baseball's coming around.
Yeah.
And people are going to the Sox and the Cubs, and they're both doing well. That's a lot of fun.
Cubs are playing great. I love
but they're not. They're not. Like having racism and bending the knees and all that crap. After they just playing ball, and we gotta love that.
Each player does have their views, and that's what democracy is all about. But Kyrie Irving.
Well, we're gonna. So we have another incident of this stuff. So here, obviously we have a little theme here, but
George Barkley Center,
and we can guarantee you that Kevin Durant will know the box score because he was all over the numbers. Unfortunately, we have seen issues around the NBA with fans crossing the line. Somebody tossed a water bottle, and it nearly hit Kyrie as he was walking to the tunnel. Tyler Johnson noticed it. And the Nets began to point out who it was in that section. There are cameras everywhere, so you're going to see the toss right there. It just misses Kyrie. This is as the Nets were exiting. Kevin Durant was doing the interview with Michael Grady, and security began to converge and look for the guilty party. Obviously, completely unnecessary. And just flat out stupid.
Yeah, it's an absolute shame.
And again, man, I don't know what was in that water bottle. What if that
looked like water? I mean, it didn't look like.
Yeah,
it was real quick.
I didn't know if it was a full water bottle or what.
It looked full to me.
But either way, that's going to leave a mark if it hits somebody. Yeah, man. But they've got.
Kyrie played for Boston, correct?
Oh yeah, for a while.
Was he on the championship team?
No.
No.
He was after all that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get that a little bit. If a player leaves your team, fans kind of go after him a little harder. But throwing things is so wrong. I in the morning, I'll watch ESPN, like sports talk stuff.
Yeah.
Greeny and I forgot the other show. But I heard about 6... I'm going to go back my whole life. NBA experts. I have laughed every time I've heard that term. He's an NBA expert. What the hell does that mean? An expert on the NBA.
They can tell when somebody's playing defense.
Well, there wouldn't be any left. Yeah. But they were all saying, and this is like 4 or 5 guys, we have to have more security at NBA games. Okay, I'm with them. This stuff should not be happening. But we have another video, don't we?
Yeah, and I know where you're going with this.
No, you don't.
Let's take a look.
Police were caught off guard by the violence Friday night. 49 officers injured. 18 of them went to the hospital after projectiles and fireworks were thrown at them during that protest. Now the superintendent today ordered all of his officers to wear any and all protective gear when covering protests. We must warn you, some of you may find this video disturbing. Police video captured a violent attack on officers who were protecting the statue of Christopher Columbus during a protest Friday night in Grant Park.
What began as a peaceful protest at Grant Park Friday evening devolved into a very dangerous situation in which mob action deliberately sought to injure officers.
The mayor decried the violence, calling those responsible vigilantes. The police video showed one person dumping out a backpack with what appeared to be frozen water bottles, which were then thrown at officers.
Wow.
Demonstrators also hurled fireworks, one sergeant suffering a broken eye socket from the shrapnel. Police said the PVC pipe used to hold the Black Lives Matter banners had been sharpened and were taken out and used to jab at officers.
That's not peaceful protest. That's anarchy, and we are going to put that down. We are actively investigating, and we will bring those people to justice. We want people to feel safe.
Members of the...
All right, we got it.
Well, I'll say this.
So what's your point? What are you trying to get at here, Steve?
Okay, truth is truth no matter whether you're throwing a frozen water bottle or receiving. It's the truth is the truth.
What does that mean?
Last summer...
Yeah.
While hundreds of minorities in Chicago were being shot by just criminals,
yeah,
the leaders were asking for less police, defund the police, get rid of the police. But we have NBA experts, when a box of popcorn and one bottle gets thrown, want more security at NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, over 100 people, 100 were shot in Chicago, the vast majority of them minorities, mostly black. What are you telling us here?
I think I got it. It's defund the security.
Unless you're the one getting tossed, the stuff thrown at you.
I think we should just defund the security of the NBA and let them fight it out for that and let them earn their money. It's so hypocritical, but they're not able, like most people that, like these celebrities that are speaking out, and I would even say some of the Congress people, but...
Is Sean Penn talking again?
Well, like people like AOC that say that kind of crap. I mean, like, at the end of the day, you got to see the big picture. And short-sighted thinking does no one any good. And I don't know, man. There's something happening in our country, man. Me and you, we sat through a lot of videos this morning, and we could have put 100 things on here. I mean, just right down this alley, or just what's happening with our government. We're finding out so much overreach. It's interesting, Stephen. I'm going to take a turn that I didn't tell you about. On Apple Plus, which is like the Netflix for Apple, there is a history of rock and roll they're going through. And it's basically like the 60s and 70s. And I'm in... What in the heck is going on? But anyway, the dog came out. Who let the dogs out, right? So anyway, in that, they show what's happening in each society, our generation at that time. And we find, what I'm learning from watching this is that's the era of like when the Beatles broke up and Lennon and Yoko were doing their thing, and all these protests were happening in music. And then outside of that, then the next thing was Carole King. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah.
You Make Me Feel. I didn't know who she was. I thought Aretha Franklin sang that song, but really there was this Carole King album that promoted feminism and the breakup of the home. And then what's interesting after that came David Bowie, who shows up in a dress, right, for the first time, and is a rebellion against not only the Christian values of that day, but even the hippie stuff and the getting high stuff and all this stuff. But all of it was one step further down into a denigration of the things that hold society and families together. And we're seeing a reemergence of that in this generation. And so to me, it was a great historical look at those people when they were young, which would be the people that are teaching in our colleges now.
Or running our government.
Or running our government, yeah, especially Biden even surpasses all that. But it's amazing how those issues are being brought back up. There's a whole thing with Angela, she was a poet. Angela May, I'm blanking on her name. But
I didn't like poetry. Go on.
But it was like, the Black Panther movement and all that stuff, and she was called a communist and put in jail and all this different stuff. And my point is, like, all of that thing in the 60s and 70s and the mid 70s are now back in the 2020s. And
to the 10th power. It's not even close to the same. It's so much beyond that. My summary is this. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or, communist, social, whatever, throwing a bottle at another human being, whether you're in the NBA bleachers or a park in Chicago, is wrong. And if we can't come to agree on that, we have no chance of surviving. It's that simple.
Well, it's just nothing's new under the sun, man. With all of these things that they're protesting, which is, to me, a lot of it's a fake protest. A lot of it is conjured up, and we're seeing more and more our own government do these things.
I don't even care if they think it's real. It's wrong to throw a frozen
I'm
water
just saying,
bottle at another
I'm making
human
a
being.
general statement about society today because there's just all this weird rebellion around us, and I don't know the heart behind it and what it's doing. And you're right, like, we can't even enjoy a basketball game.
Well, the Bible says rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
Yeah.
And now we have rappers wearing Satan shoes. So, I don't know.
Yes, we do. All right. Well, speaking of rebellion, I thought this was a fun, we'll break it up. I got a little serious there. Now, I'm going to show you a TikTok video. I hope you'll enjoy this, but we'll let it speak for itself, and then I'm going to ask Steve to comment on it. All right, here we go.
Sure, you guys have all seen one of the latest messages on Donald Trump's message board, from the official office of Donald J. Trump, that he bought the building 555 California Street, San Francisco, California, right? Okay. Thought that was a really odd message to send out. Like, who cares? He does business all the time. Like, why does he have to make that from the desk of Donald J. Trump, And then I realized what is at the address of 97th Street, San Francisco, California. What's that, you ask? Nancy Pelosi's office. That means every day that they're about 8 minutes away, every day good old Nance gets to stare at Donald Trump's new shiny building. That is the ultimate level of troll. Like, that is amazing.
The ultimate level of troll, man. So, what do you think of that?
That's where having $10 billion in the bank
is fun.
Like, I remember back in the 70s when I was a kid, I didn't like a neighbor. He didn't like me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't buy their house and make them pay rent to me like Trump can. So I threw a snowball at the guy over the house. I missed him by 8 feet, but he came running after me. When you're poor, that's all you can do, throw a snowball. Trump, he can just go,
I'll buy your building.
Yeah.
And now you have to sit in my building and do your crappy
Nancy,
politics.
though, who's been in Washington, D.C. since the 80s, makes $100,000 a year I think, and has over $900 million in her bank account. So, that was clear, concise, honest government.
Maybe she'll buy a Trump tower just to get him back. That's rich people games.
Yeah.
Well, so there's been a lot of BS with the government. I just thought that was a fun thing, and isn't that something Trump would do to whatever? And but here's something a little more serious, and this is sort of titled "BS Exposed." Let me get your thoughts on this. We're doing a little TikTok little thing.
This video is definitely getting taken down, but I just have to fucking say it. We were right. Plandemic was true. The government fucking sent $600,000 to the Wuhan lab. Fauci worked with China in the beginning of the pandemic. He's China's bitch. All of this was designed to push mail-in voting, to get you-know-who out, create a new tracking system with vaccine passports, and destroy medical freedom. The Great Reset. To get closer to mandatory vaccination. It's called Cause, Reaction, Solution. The elite create chaos so that they have something to save you from, because a free people would never go for this shit. So they instill fear in the masses to go along with whatever agenda they're pushing to keep them safe. But it's false safety. The mark of the beast. You cannot live in the system without it.
Ooh.
I love how a chick drops 3 F-bombs and then goes to the book of Revelation.
You know it, baby.
Woo!
That's my kind of girl right there. I like that. She's real.
We looked at 4 or 5 of these.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Home of the brave, home of the free, land of the free. Every person who said something along these lines said this is going to get taken down.
Yeah.
So that's what freedom is. That's what democracy is. We have like 6 people sitting in a station wagon that control everything, and they can allow some people to speak and others not to speak. I loved what that lady said. I think there's a lot of truth there.
Yep. You hit it on the head too. Like we could say the wrong thing depending on how many followers we have, but if you see,
that's why I wash my hands.
You and I cannot mess with our government. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we can say a bunch of crap, but they're not. We have no chance to overthrow or overpower the government unless we get the people behind us.
What are you talking about? We have no desire to overthrow the government.
Okay, nobody was saying that.
That's what it sounded like.
No, I was going to finish my sentence until you interrupted me. What I'm saying is we have no ability to do something like that.
Or desire.
Desire. Okay, but if you have the masses of people, you might be able to do what they tried to do. But here's my point. The one way we can get followers is through social media. through Twitter, through YouTube, through Facebook, through TikTok. Millions and billions of followers. I could post a TikTok video like I have with my band stuff, Steve, and tag it, and it will go, no kidding, to over 60 billion people. It'll show you 60 billion people will see this if they turn their TikTok on. So my point is, now these social media corporations now have more power than our government, and it's shown no more than they shown their power. They turned off our president. Now, granted, we don't like what he said. Our former president. They would never shut this moron off. I let him keep talking, that idiot. But my point is, like, who can do that? What if the Russians would have shut down Trump's ability to communicate on his platforms or on the White House? What do you think that would have been called? What were you asked to do? But we're allowing this kind of tyranny to take place from within.
Well, the thing is, all the CEOs of these tech companies are in bed with our government, just like Hunter Biden and the stripper.
Oh, yeah.
So they're working hand in hand, hand in glove. It's so wrong and so dangerous.
It's crazy the times we're living in. And you don't even know, like, there's so much. Me and you were watching a bunch of stuff, and we didn't put some of this stuff on, but there is so much. It looks like conspiracy, right? Like this stuff with Fauci, you know, the big thing about that was all the Trump supporters or all the Republicans that believed that this stuff happened in a lab and all this kind of different stuff were called conspiracists. We were called crazy. We were told to put on a tinfoil hat. But now, you know, like, all this stuff is coming true. All the stuff that they called us crazy, now they're admitting. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is, now it gives credence to all of this junk all over the social media. You look at it and go, well, man, a month ago I would have said that's crazy, but now I don't know. Because we can't look at the news and go, well, that's legit.
Well, that chick said it. If you make people crazy, you can control them. And they're doing their best to make us all batshit crazy.
Ain't it? You got to turn it off sometimes.
One day it's this. The next day it's that. This, that. Tell me what to think. Tell me what to say. It's madness.
Can I go outside without a mask now? Don't know. Let me ask Fauci. Well, here's a guy that commented on Fauci from TikTok.
Oh, dear. Did you see the Fauci emails? It turns out he knew the whole time. The conspiracy theorists were right again. And perhaps next time, you won't be so hasty to talk so much swill. Perhaps you'll come on bended knee and give an apology.
Okay, or not.
You think that guy was really British?
No.
Okay. He did a good job.
Yeah, man. Well,
what was the
one of the big things that Fauci did was they knew from the beginning that the virus could go right through a mask. So all of this mask mandate crap was for control. I really believe I believe what that lady said. They used this as a way to control us, to shut things down, to reset things, to get people hooked on government money. All of it.
Change voting
Change
laws.
the voting laws, change the votes themselves. I think it's all up for grabs again now.
Well, I don't wear my mask because of Dr. Fauci, who, by the way, makes $500,000 a year from our taxpayers.
Yeah, and all he did was lie.
Yeah.
Follow the science. Remember that one, Steve? Go ahead.
Follow the science.
You know, like so really, like all of the stuff they actually told us was a bunch of crap. I don't know what to believe about the vaccination. I hear more about people hurting from the vaccination than I do about people that are not. But I know that's not true. But I'm just telling you, I hear tons of stuff now, and it's all over social media.
Well, everybody talks about the accident they saw, not the 40 hours of driving and everything's fine.
But why would I'm not trusting the government with my body. I'll take care of my own body. If I die, it's on me. I will take care of that.
My body, my choice.
That's right. You know,
I wear the mask because it makes me look cuter.
It does. It does. From here, it does. Well, anyway, speaking of, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that you can go to a place at the church and get the kind of wardrobe. What was that? The Christian
PraiseAndWorship.com.
PraiseAndWorship.com. So but we found that there's other things out there, Steve, that can help you.
Isn't this our new sponsor?
It's our new sponsor.
Our first sponsor.
Yeah, and we want to just go karateforchrist.com and we want to promote their commercial. So here it is.
Learn to perform master level moves such as the Crucifix, the Last Supper, the Bad Samaritan, the Burning Bush, abstinence.
All right.
All right. You're in the martial arts, or you were. I don't know if you still.
I never did.
Do you have to give your black belt back?
I do not.
Okay. I didn't know.
I could still handle myself as long as I don't have to go longer than 20, 30 seconds.
What do you think of Christians who are into that starting their own thing? Does that make sense to you?
Like actual doing karate for Christ?
Yeah.
I think it's. Hey man, anything that's positive for the kids, I'm for.
Okay.
A lot of it is sort of BS. In other words, it's wannabes trying to do karate. Not real. A real sensei, I'm just being real honest with this, a real sensei, a real guy who really came from a real tradition is not going to the church to do that. But that, to me, is even better. So, like, I do know there's a couple Christians, people that own a karate dojo that's not in a church. It's over there by the heart of the town, and I think that's a great thing because they're reaching people that they probably would not get a chance to reach.
Yeah. I guess I'm just more in favor of Christians doing whatever they love and what they're called to do outside the church. I think you can touch more lives.
Absolutely.
So, did you have to
imagine that? It'd be crazy.
Did you have to pull a fistful of pubic hair out to get your black belt?
Well, I would do that, and then I would have to go clean the tires on somebody's car,
Okay.
and so you know,
that was new to me. I saw the Karate Kid 30 years ago.
You get that cat cough. What is it? Because the hair gets everywhere, and yeah, man, you don't want to definitely. Yeah. Anyway, we'll shut that off right now. Well, Steve, we're coming down to the end of the show here, and we got
already? I thought we were just getting started.
I know, man. We could just go forever, but we're almost 40 minutes in, and we got douche of the week. So, who do you think douche of the week is this week? Anyone taking a guess?
Is this his fourth or fifth douche of the week?
I don't know, but he is a reoccurring douche.
I can't count past 3, so I get Mr. President.
Hello.
Oh, dear Lord. This guy.
I just want to do a speech today on racism, and I saw a train go by, and it was a scooby-dooby-dabby-doo.
It was an Amtrak.
Over at the Dabby-Doo, if you know what I mean, and she's got long hair.
I saw excerpts of his speech in Tulsa, and by the way, over the weekend, I did not know very much about the Tulsa race riot that happened 100 years ago.
Okay.
Did not know much about it.
Do you know more now?
The History Channel did like a 3-hour. It was really good, and I have studied the civil rights movement, and this stuff matters a lot to me. I was able to understand what happened in Tulsa 100 years ago.
Give me a rundown, because I didn't get to see that.
Well, there was a street, Greenwood Street, I believe, in Tulsa. They called it the Black Wall Street.
Okay.
Just lots of money, prosperous businesses. And the black community had their own area of town, which,
Yeah.
But evidently, I'm forgetting all the details, but a big group of white people, sheriffs, cops with guns, and just hillbilly racist bastards came in and killed 300, I think, just shot them, and burned the whole black part of town.
Got rid of the Wall Street kind of thing that they were. I think they made a movie about this. Yeah.
I usually watch those movies. I don't recall one. Like this was.
I know there's one, but I know it was more about the Wall Street, the black guys that invested in that Black Wall Street or whatever you want to call that, and it's more about that. But and then it probably gets ripped from them.
But anyway, it's something we should remember and learn from, and honestly ask forgiveness that a group of people were treated this way. That's just my feeling. I didn't do it. No one in my family did it, but I am sorry this happened. I think there's 3 people who survived the riot who are still alive. They're both, all of them are over 100, I believe. So Uncle Joe goes to Tulsa 2 days ago and does a speech.
Yep.
45 minutes, which I would have lost the bet that he could stay awake that long. But he did. But in the speech, and I'm summarizing, he basically said the biggest threat to the United States of America is white supremacy. And
it's absolute bullshit.
It's an absolute lie. It's
Pardon my French.
Unbelievable lie. But as long as you keep telling a lie, people are going to believe you and think it's the truth.
Let me ask you, you're a sort of a I don't know.
I was a history major.
Yeah, you were a
college.
history major. I wasn't going to say historian, but you have a lot of knowledge about history. Why are they perpetuating this narrative?
Because it divides us.
And what's the benefit of that?
They can control us. It's easier to control broken pieces than one strong, united unit.
Yeah.
And there are people who want to control us. I believe in the foundation of our government, the documents. Were there errors here and there? Yeah, there were. I think they've been corrected.
I think they've been corrected because of that document.
Right.
Yeah.
And was there systematic racism in the United States? Yeah, absolutely there was. Is there today? You're going to have to show me, because every law is open. Every American is treated the same by the law. By the law. Obviously,
we've hit this so many times on this show.
I'm just sick of that
I'm
lie.
sick of it. I am too, man. I'm sick of the conversation now.
Well, we can't get sick of it.
No, you know what, though? I am. And that's their fault, not mine. I feel like you do. Like, all that stuff that happened, I didn't do any of it, and nobody in my family did any of it, and I'm not going to apologize, but I feel terrible that happened to a group of people, and I would stand with that group of people or any injustice against any group of people. Okay?
Well, here's the difference. The last 2 years, I was in inner city schools where I had a number of young black kids who are being told this lie every day.
Yep.
It's hard for them to believe in their country, our culture, our values when they are told this every day. And I'm telling you this, Obama, the first black president in United States history, never said anything as strong as Biden. He never said it that strong.
Yeah. Well, Biden's just a freaking mouth. He's a puppet.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But for your president to say that's
they're creating
the biggest
a culture.
threat?
They're creating a culture which I think is dangerous because it's a culture of jealousy. It's dividing into the haves and have-nots, and we can get into the like the hierarchy of the 1% and all that kind of crap. But my point is, within the middle class, they're creating this, and so when you do that, then you start looking at people and you start looking at property, and the people are in the way of the property. They have what I want, and it's mine, and I'll do whatever I have to because I have some kind of righteousness that allows me to do it. And they perpetuate the very thing that they hate, the very thing that they think they're standing for. They commit the very thing that they think they're fighting against.
Oh, this is all by design. Don't think this was an accident.
Absolutely. I don't think most people. I mean, what I'm a little bit of a, I guess, reassurance in this area is I'm seeing a lot of our African American brothers stand up and say the same kind of stuff me and you are saying, and the CRC, critical race theory, is absolute crap, and it's there to divide us. And one of the most touching things I saw was this African American guy who's about 27, and he was on TikTok with his daughter, and she's like, in her innocence, I mean, I'm talking like 5 years old, she's like, I like all people, white people. I just judge them by the way they treat me, not by a skin. I don't care if you're, and she's like, I don't care if you're green.
I caught that.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It was amazing. And I mean, that's out of the mouth of a babe. And if we could, I just don't know who, a lot of these people in my life, and you can tell me, why are the biggest morons always in charge of the people, and how do they get there? And it's only because they have to be puppets. I see this in religion. I see this in politics. I see this in corporations. It's like unbelievable to me. Like, where are all the strong leaders, the Davids of our. I just don't get it, man. Like,
I just wonder what would have happened if someone at this wonderful, orated, however you pronounce it, speech, if someone would have thrown a water bottle at Biden. I wonder what would have happened.
It would have killed him.
Right. They would have shot him right here between the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And they would have, defunded the security around him. That's the only place I'm okay with, like, defunding the security. But anyway.
Oh, I'm not going there.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. He's a moron. I know. I'm joking.
I don't want any body
I would be terrible if any president. But anyway, well, Steve, we're running down to the end of the show. We got one more 10-second thing, and we have a 10-second scream. And we always end the show with a 10-second scream or somewhere around it. So I don't know if you are ready for this, but be ready. We're going to back up from the mic a little bit because that's going to... Here we go.
That's the holy reverence.
You are a puppet. $1 million puppet. Oh, my God. I can't take
Hold
that.
on.
Dude.
Have some.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know what? Today I'm going to partake. Because Dr. Fauci told me I can breathe.
Dude, if Dr. Fauci was Dr. Pinocchio, his nose would be about 7 miles long.
He's more like Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean, everyone forgets he was in charge of the AIDS virus in the 80s, and that ended up turning out real well.
Right.
Yeah, this guy, and he makes $500,000 of taxpayer dollars. How much does he get from CNN? He's got like 8 episodes a day. I mean, somebody said it. I've seen 2 tweets. One said he should win the Nobel Peace Prize, which is its own 20-second scream.
Right.
And then someone else said he should be in jail. I'm leaning more towards this guy should be in jail. But he's in the station wagon with the 6 people that control everything. So nothing will ever happen to him.
Whoever actually,
he's writing a book.
In leadership. Who's going to?
As far as we know,
Cuomo going to be on the inside, going, "This is a great man."
Yeah. So I don't think I haven't heard of Fauci grabbing every butt that walks by him. So he's a little bit different than Cuomo.
Sure.
But the guy's just a fraud, and people need to say it. And yes, Your Holiness, I am going to wear my mask until 2030, but it's only because it makes me look
whatever,
cuter.
man. I'm done with it. I'm done with this administration. Their price hikes, inflation. We're right back to Jimmy Carter, and we voted for that crap, or they overthrew our system. I don't know what's going on over there. Another discussion for another day. We are Talk to Talk. We are out of here. Thanks for listening. It's glad to be back. I'm glad my main man Steve's back here in the studio with us with all his knowledge about science. We love you. Go back to YouTube and your podcasting app. Share this stuff. Like us and help us out. We will see you on the next episode of Talk to Talk.
Peace.